Gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to NSU University School's production of Elephant's Graveyard. Please keep in mind that our performance does contain some sensitive material that may not be appropriate for children. Please put away all cell phones as they are distracting, and all use of photography and videotaping is strictly prohibited. And as always, please enjoy the show. Shows proudly present.
There was a railroad.
The Clinchfield and Ohio.
There was an elephant.
Mary! Mary! Mary!
And there was a man with red hair.
It was September, and there was a town and a circus.
Charlie Sparks, owner, operator, Sparks world famous shows. You want to run a circus? Always keep it about the money. That's what Daddy taught me when I sat up till midnight counting pennies in the ticket car. Back when Sparks was his. Always keep it about the money. Oh, you might have a dream. A dream of making a crowd leap to its feet and speak with one voice, Sparks, Sparks, Sparks. A dream of joining the pantheon, Ringling, Barnum, Bailey, Sparks. Be careful. You're the Ringmaster. Dreams aren't for you. Dreams are for rubbernecks. Dreams are for suckers.
Irwin. The town that couldn't remember its own name. True story. Supposed to be named Irvin after some rich fellow. Postmaster messed up. Spelled it E-R-W-I-N instead. Nobody remembered to fix it. Yep, that's Irwin for you.
I lift things. Heavy things. Anything. This gets me on boat. This gets me to America. This gets me to circus.
Never been nowhere. Work a steam shovel down at Irwin Rail Yard, digging holes all day, one hole after another. Papers say we might go to war with the Kaiser. Well, I'll be the first to sign up. Oh, wait! What a patriotic young man! Hell, ain't patriotic. Just bored.
Ballet girl. Ballet girl. Ballet girl. Can't dance, practically old enough to have a girl of my own, but ballet girl it is. Not a show girl, a ballet girl. Substitute for ballet for show, and suddenly, I'm not a scandal, I'm an artist. I'm not a temptress in tights, I'm a dancer. We walk the wire, we ballet girls, between decency and lewdness. I need to find my balance. The name is a start. And then the smile of an innocent flower. Spotless, pristine, blameless. That's me. From head to toe.
Mud. Yellow mud. Everywhere. Boardwalks help some, not enough. Always scraping it off your shoes. Enough to drive a person crazy, all that scraping. Buried 2 kids in the mud. Husband. Mud trying to swallow me up, swallow this whole town up. God's punishing us for something. Take another flood to wash Irwin clean.
I finished putting up the Irwin Evergreen Free Will Church in July. Turns out I may have been a bit optimistic about how many rows of pews I needed. Little quiet on Sundays. Love, forgiveness, joy, I'll keep on testifying, but there's nothing more lonely than a New Testament preacher in an Old Testament town.
It's love. Feed her, wash her, sleep with her. At the end of the day, I even have a drink with her. Pour some whiskey in her bucket, mix it with some water. She loves it. Sticks her trunk in, it's gone in a second. I'm lucky. They live a long time, you. You play your cards right, you got a friend for life.
Could use more friends, I guess. Play with my brother Eli, skip stones and trains. Read Tarzan books. Man, he's something. Read them right before bed. Gives me the best dreams.
Too old for Claudia. Kids laugh, easy peasy. But we Joeys give them more than laughs. Give them perspective, a lesson to carry on forever, Biggie. That there's always someone worse off than you. Except for us. Ain't nothing below a clown. They all pull rank, even the ballet girls. We're the last to get to the makeup mirror, even though we use the most makeup. Let me put it this way. How many ringmasters does it take to change a light bulb? None. They tell the clowns to do it.
Irwin. Rising taller every year. Best this country has to offer. Peaceful. But keep it that way. Folks around here are honest. Law-abiding. Hell. Ain't the folks around here got to worry about. It's the strangers. It's that damn train station.
All the traveling from town to town, all the firing, the hiring. Me. Firing happens all the time. Fella's lucky. He gets fired in one of the towns during a stop. Unlucky, well, he gets red lighted. Tossed off our train while it's moving. Sucker don't see nothing but the red lights of the caboose as it fades away. And hiring. Yep, do a lot of that too. Circus needs plenty of muscle, not just in the ring. Townies get out of line now and then, want to prove they're tougher than the strong man, get fresh with the ballet girl. Sparks sees any funny business, he calls out the hey rube. Now I gotta teach every new hire. They hear that hey rube, they drop what they're doing and defend their own. And that's just the thing. I gotta keep track of everything. People, animals, lumber. Hell, we're like a little town of our own, carrying all our buildings on our back.
It was September. There was a town and a circus and a railroad.
The railroad invented time in this country. Before us, there was chaos, every clock for itself. People set clocks to the sun like cavemen, every town in America declaring their own noon. We came along and we told this country, no, we have a schedule to keep. Time is not relative, time is precise. Time is not gray, it is black and white. The circus favored our proclamation. Before we came along, they traveled by wagon, limped it to town at any hour of the day, covered in mud and hogscat. The railroad changed all that. They could depend on us. We were the metronome. We were the click-clack, click-clack, click-clack that lulls them off to sleep at night. Men, horses, elephants, they all slept with us under their ears. Click-clack, 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 like a second hand, on time, always on time. And Derwin, without us, time would pass them by. They need us just as much as the circus. Not every town gets a railroad station wide with a station. Irwin might become something special, stand out, have it written around its neck. Industry, progress, we could bring it all to their doorstep. Without us, Irwin will just be any other tiny town in Tennessee, a town nobody's ever heard of. Circus, Irwin, they have our guarantee. You can depend on the railroad.
It was September and there was a town.
There was a circus.
There was a railroad.
And there was an elephant.
Mary. We dreamed her before we saw her. She was plastered on every telephone pole.
Every fence post.
Every barn door.
September.
The circus was coming.
She was coming.
To our muddy town.
It was all there, black and white.
And color.
It said,
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Sparks World Famous Shows. The show that never broke a promise.
Moral, entertaining, instructive.
25 years of honest dealing with the public.
Proudly presents a tremendous exhibition of wealth and splendor.
all new, but 1916.
Starring Mary, the largest living land animal on Earth.
Death-defying feats of skill and daring.
Mary, over 5 tons.
2 packs of man-killing lions.
Mary, 3 inches taller than Jumbo.
5,000 seats.
Mary, guaranteed at every
A
performance.
free street parade every day at noon.
Mary.
Mary.
Mary,
Mary,
Mary.
Mary, 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 Mary. An elephant is an investment. You open up your pocketbook, you throw down the $8 grand, don't think about it again. Simple. You got your trained seals, the trapeze, the strongman, fine. But they aren't the bread and butter, no. No rubberneck comes to a circus, doesn't have an elephant. Strike that. No rubberneck comes to a circus, doesn't have a big elephant. Ever since Barnum and that damn Jumbo. Jumbo was big, yes, the biggest. Not as big as the freight train that hit him, but big. Now, Barnum understood investments, sued the train company for insurance, pocketed that, turned around and paraded that stuffed corpse across the country. Charged money for that, until it started to fall apart. Till he couldn't call what he had left an elephant. Till he was parading around a 10-ton ghost.
They love a parade. All elephants do in the wild anyway, walk around. Wild elephant herd follows the leader, and the leader is the biggest female. I got no reason to mess with that there. So they all march behind Mary. Shadrach, Penny, Sue, little Maybelle, one behind the other, trunk wrapped around the tail in front of her. All females. Easier. Males going to eat? Donuts. Not worth the trouble. Easier to stick with the women. Take a stroll with my gals. Let me tell ya, only thing better than watching an elephant parade is being in the elephant parade. Only thing better than being in the elephant parade is leading it. A dream. Sitting on top of the world. On top of my own personal mountain. On top of Mary. Legs wrapped around her back. Head in the clouds.
impressive, no? No? So tell me, I am not just temperamental. I do not shit all over the stage. So please, have the courtesy to inform me. Why is elephant star of show?
My name, my smile, they buy me some wiggle room. Wiggle room I need because once I'm decreed safe, nothing more than the wholesome ballet girl. Then I had the elephant, 5 tons of gray flesh bearing me half naked into the ring. That's right, the innocent object of desire wrapped in a dingling 10 feet long. And the best part, that trunk is always up. Bad luck to let your trunk droop in the circus. It's the first thing an elephant learns. Oh, I am never more powerful, more sensual, more dangerous than when I'm with Mary. Keep your spangles, your headdress, your makeup. Diamonds? Diamonds ain't nothing. An elephant is a girl's best friend.
They're not just for show. Hardest workers I got. Shorty over here acts like that's not part of their job description. But once a train enters a town, they're mine. Get them to load and unload the boxcars. Push up a couple tent poles.
Nobody looks down on the elephants, right? I mean, they don't gotta put on makeup or play the dope to get applause. They're too mighty to ever be made humble, too strong to ever be broken, Too big to ever be laid low. And Mary's the biggest we Joeys have ever seen, so we love her the most.
So, when an opportunity comes along, you learn not to ask too many questions. Ringling tells her they got a Tusker for 8,000, you don't probe. You don't wonder why she's suddenly not worth so much. Could be anything. Maybe you ran out of the ring one night. Maybe you hurt someone. Maybe. Here's the thing. Doesn't matter. She's big enough. Doesn't matter what she did. You change your name to, say, Mary. And suddenly, you got yourself a brand new star. Listen, an elephant is not its actions, isn't cute, isn't a friend, isn't a symbol for something else. An elephant is an elephant. And an elephant is an investment.
It was September, and there was a town, and there was a circus, and there was a railroad, and there was an elephant, and last but not least, there was a man with red hair.
Kingsport. The men folk loved us in Kingsport. I mean, loved us. Joey's had to mop up all the drool afterward. Mary and I exited that tent triumphantly to a chorus of catcalls.
Tennessee started off with a bang. We killed him in Kingsport. Circus can tell how it goes by how many people want to run away with it afterward. 15? Now that was a record. 10 of them were 6 or 7 went back to mommy, but 5 were all right. Big, tough. Could be helped with the next hay route.
I was giving Mary a celebratory smooch when this tall guy came out of the shadows, started walking towards me, mouth wide open like he was hypnotized. Had these intense blue eyes and bright red hair. I put on my most innocent smile while I looked around for some muscle in case the guy was trouble. No one in sight. I kept smiling, ready to run. Then I saw it. He wasn't looking at me, he was looking at Mary. I let out my breath. He was about 25 or so, but he looked like a little kid while he stared at her. That glow reminded me when I first started out. I asked what I could do for him. He pointed right at Mary, said, "Hey, I want to join up. How do I join up?"
A ballet girl brought over this guy. Shaka red hair, hilarious. Like a clown. 1 foot in the circus already. Tell him I got lots of newbies to choose from. Lots of first of Mays. Why pick him? Tells me he's good with animals. I say, okay. Good with animals, good. How are you at shoveling up their shit? He flinches, and then he says, fine. I steer him over to the horses, and he says, no. I want to work with the elephants. I have to work with the elephants. I tell him, your funeral, Red. Elephant shit's the heaviest shit there is.
Lou walks by with this red-haired man. Another 1st of May. Another beanpole. Why bother hiring these weaklings?
1st of May walks by with Lou. Red hair, about 25, 6. Uh-oh, trouble. 25? I tell him to open his mouth, stick out his tongue, and say, Go on. Aha! Diagnosis, circus fever, terminal case. The guy blushes and Lou laughs and pulls him off towards Shorty's car. He's got the fever all right, but a little late. A grown man following the kid's dream.
Lou knocks on my car and tells me I got a new roommate. Goofy-looking redhead guy. I tell Lou crowding up in here with 5 elephants. But he insists, tells me Red's my new partner. Don't like partners. Partners don't have the patience. 1st of May, who has it in his head he's gonna be a big Tusker trainer? My gals deserve better. They deserve me. But I'm not gonna be a jerk about it. I show Red his corner. He gripes about the smell, and I tell him to get used to it. Town you think elephants smell bad in the ring? Try sleeping with one in a boxcar. He shuts up when he sees Mary, though. Like she's the answer to all his prayers. I don't know what's wrong with the guy, if he's nut or soft in the head or what. Any case, I'm not gonna turn my back on him. I may not be big, but one wrong move, Red's getting the red light.
Shorty, poor Sam, wanted to bite my head off. So easy to rile up. like a mama hen. We shut the doors and left Kingsport for Irwin. On time.
Once you start moving, Lou comes into your car, tells you your advanced man wired back good news. Said Irwin hasn't seen a circus in years. That's what you want to hear. Whether it knows it or not, Irwin's been saving up. Irwin's been starving for popcorn, cotton candy, pink lemonade, whatever your candy butchers can shovel into their kissers. Towns like Irwin are gold, where your elephant becomes what she was born to, a 5-ton cash register.
Click, clack, through the night, their boxcars, our engines, our rails. Irwin is waiting, we will not disappoint. You can depend on the railroad.
Dig, 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 lunch. Dig, 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 dinner. Home, drink, tired, drink, ache, drink, nothing, drink, nothing, nothing, drink. Train, whistle, elephant, circus.
Eli woke me up at 4 a.m. I cussed him out because he was going to be late. Peeped in at our folks, still sleeping. Snuck out the window, ran as fast as we could to the field where they do it. We were all there, all the kids in Irwin, there to watch him set up the big top, the greatest free show on earth. Trains whistle, break screams, men and animals stomped out of every door. Everybody marched around, seemed to know what they're doing, except this red-haired guy. He kept bumming into stuff and tripping on ropes. People yelled at him and his face turned as red as his hair. Funny, it's like a clown. Then this elephant came out. I about pissed myself. Bigger than the one we saw a few years back. Lots bigger. Never saw nothing this big. It made this big trumpet. We don't piss ourselves. The men unloaded the main temple and set it right between that thing's eyes. We walked on forward. Pushing the pole up in the air as it stomped. Higher, higher, higher. Holding that pole up there so the men could fix it in place. It was like a dream. A loud dream, I guess. Full of hammering and pounding and cursing. It was like watching an entire city get built in 2 hours. That's about my favorite part of the circus. Watching them set up. Not in the parade. I was really looking forward to that parade.
About 9 a.m., Ringmaster and I walked down Main Street clear away the parade route. Told me to keep the horses away. Could spook the elephants. Oh, yes, sir, whatever you say, sir. Main Street will hold its horses. Hell. Ain't enough I gotta let the circus come to town, pick the pockets of all of us. You gotta roll out the goddamn red carpet while I'm at it.
Got myself a soda pop in a front row spot. A lady never knows how many parades she's got left in her. Have to make each one count.
Glad I got up there when I did. It was early, but the street was filling up. James. I was there for James and the kids. They always loved the circus trade.
It was his childhood dream.
I'd shown Red how to feed her and groom her. That's it. That's all he knew.
That Red came up to me right before the Irwin parade even started. Asked me real polite like.
One day? What the hell can you learn in one day? At anything.
Chance to get Shorty here all worked up.
In India, a guy stays with an elephant his whole life. Like a goddamn marriage. Here Lou waltz in and says,
Big deal, Shorty. Red wants to ride Mary in the march. Back off and give the new guy a chance.
and I'm thinking, no. No, he can ride little Maybelle, sure. Shadrach even. But Mary?
You're on Shadrach. Red is on Mary. Is that a problem?
I should have said something. I should have told him she was mine.
He didn't say nothing.
I didn't say nothing. Maybe he made a face. That was my big protest. A face.
The kisser on that guy.
It's trust. Trust you build up over years, not just one day. Every bath, every peanut, every pat on the trunk. It's trust. Love. But Red didn't have time for that. Red had a parade to lead.
Shorty's on Shadrach, but he still has to make the call. They won't start walking for anyone but him.
Trunks up!
I opened up the doors and the steps to the church were thick with people, faces I'd never seen before. I was fixing to thank Jesus for answering my prayers. People weren't trying to get in though. Steps were just the best way to face out. To see the parade provided a little height. All there, whole town was lining up the streets. White, colored, man, woman, child, all there, glow in their eyes, waiting to see a miracle. Well, if I couldn't provide that glow on Sundays, at least there was something that could.
Right down Main Street. Our Main Street.
Had the day off from the shovel. Everyone had the day off. Circus day.
Eli and me were out pissing ourselves.
Elephants, clowns, tigers, all mucking down our Main Street, through our yellow mud.
Made Irwin look like something for one.
Could hear the brass band and bass drums for miles.
Mud on all of them circus folk. Hems of their dresses, tails of their coats.
Colors you never even dreamed of.
So long, stretched on forever.
Elephant had Irwin mud all over.
Our yellow town gone all purple and silver and red.
That big elephant was leading the whole thing.
And that goofy guy, red hair, he was up on her back. Mary,
Mary, Mary, Mary!
Hogs. Hogs must have been spooked something terrible to act like that. Them piggies used to the life of the relic. Just grunting up and down Main Street, eating whatever falls to the ground. Or garbage collectors. But not that day. That day a band was playing. People rushing out. Circus plowing through the middle of town. No way them hogs ain't scared. Irwin Garbage Department on strike until further notice. Clean up your own junk, people of Irwin. We on strike. And thus, the hogs left the prize. Left the holy grail of garbage untouched in the mud. A juicy chunk of watermelon. That's when the dominoes start to fall. Elephant sees melon. Elephant walks towards melon. Elephant Rider turns red. Elephant Rider encourages Elephant to abandon melon. The elephant ignores Elephant Rider. Elephant keeps walking towards melon. Elephant Rider is most insistent to the tune of Elephant Hook across Elephant Head. Elephant holds up parade. Elephant Rider turns red. Elephant Rider breaks Elephant Hook across Elephant Tusk. Elephant thinks. Elephant decides she's had enough of Elephant Rider. Elephant picks Elephant Rider off Elephant back with Elephant Trunk. Elephant Trunk throws Elephant Rider into soda pop stand. Elephant Rider groans in rubble. Elephant Rider thinks it's over. Elephant Rider is wrong. Elephant walks over to Elephant Rider and puts Elephant foot on Elephant Rider head. Elephant Rider screams. Elephant foot steps on down. Elephant Rider head explodes like a melon. Elephant Rider turns red. Elephant walks away. Elephant Rider don't. Simple. Parade stops, man dies, and elephant turns killer. All for a melon. All for the want of a hog.
Nothing. Thing didn't even flinch. Somebody screamed. Townsfolk ran off in a panic. I couldn't do nothing but stand there, hold an empty pop gun. And that thing just kept on eating that milk. Ripping apart a little snack all the while that poor man's sad side all opened up. Ringmaster ran up to me. Told me we'll settle this later. I told him yes. Yes, we will. Then a little guy led that thing back to the fairgrounds. A pair of carnies carted away the leaking fella in one of them animal cages. Clowns washed up the street with soap and water. Vanished. Almost like nothing happened. Hogs came back. Then the people. A few of them were laughing. At me.
Folks signed to begin 3 deep on the street, waiting for someone to tell them what to do. I propped the church doors open, but no one came in.
There was a pool of blood in front of the post office.
I heard his head crack open again. In my head. Sharp cracks and softer ones, one after another. Crack, 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 crack.
She stepped on his skull, crushed it, sent another body into the mud.
No one came in.
Couldn't stop looking at that blood.
Crack, 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 crack.
Town's cursed.
No one.
Heard the fellow was from Kingsport.
Ealer thought he knew him.
Could have been any of us.
No one.
Carl says he killed 2 men in Virginia.
7 men.
18,
Right on Main Street.
You can't just do that, can it? Go around killing people?
Our Main Street. Tarzan would have stopped her. Tarzan would have stabbed her through the eyes and gouged out her brain.
Right on Main Street. Eye for an eye. Eye for an eye, and maybe God will stop punishing us.
Our Main Street. That's what Tarzan would have done. Right on Main Street. Our Main Street. Right on Main Street. Our Main Street. Right on Main Street. Our.
Could have ended there. It could have ended right there, but that wouldn't have been right. No, that wouldn't have been justice. Maybe my pistol didn't mean squat to the thing. God damn it, we find something that did. It wasn't walking away from all this. Irwin don't look kindly upon murderers.
Crowd breaks up and follows the marshal into the saloon. Hogs and me in the doorway, stand in the doorway. Hear talk. Lots of talk. Talk about public menace. Talk about what you do with rabid dogs. Talk about what's right and what's wrong. Hogs and me look at each other. They grunt and walk off. That'd be the same.
I stared at the steps, the empty steps. I walked into the church and let the door swing shut behind me. Standing on the promises that cannot fail, when the howling storms of doubt and fear assail, by the living word of Christ I shall prevail. I'm standing on the promises of God. Standing, standing on the promises of God, my Savior. Standing, I'm standing on the promises of God.
Tried to get in touch with Red's family friends. Didn't have none.
Like he didn't exist except for us. Like he was born to do nothing but cause us trouble.
Poor kid.
He was weak, did not understand. You were on top of her, but she is strong one, not you.
Russ Joey said a few words and buried him at the fairgrounds.
You still have a show due that night. Must go on. Doors!
I told Charlie, maybe we should keep Mary out. Maybe the people forget, but he told me what I already knew.
They won't forget. Aren't come to see the circus. Come to see the killer.
He was right. Would have been a riot if we kept her away.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Sparks' world-famous shows proudly presents...
Normal night, we play up the danger. Talk up the toothless tiger. Not this time. Brought Mary out like she's the most innocent of God's creatures. And I'm thinking, look at her. Look at her. She is just a big, dumb animal. Can we all agree on that? All Irwin is here under one big tent. This ain't no killer. Please.
Mary and I, entering in the tent together, didn't usually get a gasp, but circumstances had changed. I tried to draw the crowd's attention away from Mary. I licked my lips, tossed my hair, and threw myself out there. Nothing. Forget that then. Innocence would win the day. Look at me. All of you. Here I am wrapped up, cuddled in the very trunk that did the deed, and am I scared? Am I trembling? I'm smiling. Smiling. The brightest beams of white forgiveness I could till I thought the corners of my lips would crack open and gush blood over the sawdust. But it didn't work. Those people weren't there to forgive. They stood up and started pelting us with their popcorn. And then they made this sound.
Listen to that. It comes true. Your dream comes true. In a tiny town in Tennessee, crowd leaps to its feet, speaks with one voice, shakes the air, makes it tremble. It's not the sparks, sparks, sparks you dreamed of. But oh, they scream till their lungs ache, louder than any lion's roar, young and old united in one glorious moment of certainty. Their scream, their chant, their heart's greatest wish. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it.
Well, everyone around us was throwing stuff, so he landed me water, cotton candy up into baseballs, and tossed them as hard as we could. It got louder. The marshal and people were waving guns around, everybody shouting. All except the colored section.
No need to say nothing. Irwin don't give you no vote. Best to keep your mouth shut.
Then the clowns started talking. Never knew clowns could talk.
No. Red was one of us, part of the circus. He knew the risks. This doesn't concern you. You townies got no claim here. The military has its own court, and so does the circus. The Circus Court of Appeal.
This little guy came out.
She was favoring her left tusk. They have nerves in there, big ones, run down half the tooth. But I saw him. You all saw him hitting her tusk with the hook, whacking the spit out of it, trying to get her to stay in line, to behave. What's she supposed to do? She stopped him. That's all. She stopped him.
The marshal and the new preacher stood up.
These carnies can talk all they want. We know what we've seen. And the people of Irwin demand.
No, we don't. Don't stand there all huffed up with false pride and tell me that the people of Irwin demand this elephant die. Because I don't. Or add that in. Say the people of Irwin minus the preacher. But it doesn't have that same power, adding that minus. Doesn't have the same ring. But you have to figure some way to leave me out of it. I'm a person, God knows, but I'm not the people. I'm not the...
We know what we see. And the people of Irwin demand justice.
Louder! The strong man grabbed a barbell and started shouting at the ringmaster.
Sparks! Call the hay woo! Call it! Sparks!
But the ringmaster didn't do nothing.
They want to know. Let loose the lions, the tigers. The rubbernecks want to know who is stronger. Their puny chests, their straw hats. I will crush them all! Sparks!
Finally, the ringmaster raised his hand. And everything got quiet.
Now, $8,000 is a lot to lose. A lot to lose in a hick town middle of nowhere. But investments get tricky when people want blood. 'Cause it's not just Irwin. Your advance men wire back from your upcoming stops, Johnson City, Rogersville, Indian Ridge. Your circus isn't welcome until that elephant is taken care of. So, is she still worth $8,000? Is she still worth anything? You could sell her to another circus if no one's looking. Get part of your money back anyway. But people are looking, and elephants don't just disappear. And the people know what they've seen, and they know what they want. And you, well, you know what your daddy would do. So you do it. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the circus understands. The circus understands your wishes. This merry matter will be settled to your liking, and we are open to suggestions.
We had the answer. We always had the answer. At first they chose not to listen to the whisper of our rails. The marshal knew shooting with a pistol hadn't worked, so they talked about getting a cannon. Civil War cannon from a nearby museum. Click-clack, wrong track. We whispered louder. They talked about electrocuting it, frying it like some of them have seen in that moving picture Thomas Edison made. But that was copycat stuff. That wasn't dreaming big enough. We whispered louder, would not be ignored, and somebody finally heard us. The rail yard. There's a crane there that can lift 100 tons. It says so right on the side of it in black and white. And nothing gray could stand up to that much black and white. Why, something like that could do something special. Something that's never been done before. And something like that could hang her. Hang her like any other murderer. She may be big, but that railroad crane's bigger. Crane will get the job done. Crane will do the trick. Crane's the railroad after all, and you can always depend on the railroad.
Hanging suits be just fine, I suppose. I still think the cannon would be better.
Eye for an eye. Irwin will finally be clean.
I'd have never believed it. Irwin is the place to be tomorrow. Nobody in the world is hanging an elephant tomorrow. So that's something we got. You want to see it? Get up and come down here for a change.
So now Lou and Sparks need my help. So now Red's forgotten. There's just me. I asked them. I wasn't good enough to handle her while she was alive, but I'm good enough to help you kill her. They say, however you want to put it. What am I going to do? Walk away? Leave them to figure it out by themselves? No. I stay. I stay because if I don't, they'll mess it up. It will be even worse of a spectacle. Lou and Sparks are happy this is my answer. Smile, open their mouths. I stop them. I say, don't you think I've forgiven you. Don't think that. I will never forgive you. Well, this they're not so happy about, but I tell them, go ahead. What's your question? They ask how to get her out to the rail yard tomorrow, how to lead her through all those people without all hell breaking loose. I tell them Tuskers aren't stupid. They know when something's up. You have to make her think it's a normal march. She can't go out there alone. Mary has to lead the parade, like it's any other parade. Shadrach, Penny, Sue, little Maybelle walking trunk to tail, like always. Then what? Then this. Then chain Mary's foot to the track under the crane. And then, Lou, you lead the rest of them out fast before they can smell the fear on her. Then someone climbs up on Mary's back and wraps the hanging chain around her neck. Someone she knows. Someone she trusts. They look at me like I'm crazy. I tell them to relax. I tell them I'll do it.
Finished my cake about midnight. Not a big one, best I could manage. Had to fix something. Wasn't gonna be the only woman empty-handed.
I couldn't stop thinking of the glow, like picking at a scab. I prayed for hours. I tried to sleep, but all I could see were their eyes, glowing.
Stayed in my boxcar all night. Prayed to see what Shorty's face looked like.
I give her a bath, a peanut, a pat on the trunk, bucket after bucket of whiskey water. Might help some for tomorrow. Dull it, maybe. I hope it doesn't make it worse.
Shorty won't let anyone near her. So I wait till he falls asleep at her feet. Then I step over him and crawl into her trunk, stroking it. There he cradles me, swinging me back and forth till I drift off.
He let me stay up all night, whispering under the covers. He asked me if I'd read to him, and I do until he falls asleep. I go to pee and hear crying through Ma's door. Crying. On the night before the best day ever. Can't figure her sometimes.
Stepped by Walters last night, make sure he's getting the band together. The whole thing wouldn't feel right without a wee bit of music.
Irwin was lively that night. Bars, crowded streets full of trouble. Well, what would normally be trouble. I walked up and down Main Street past every mean drunk in town. Funny feeling. Never felt safe.
Stayed up till I don't know when with Carl and them drinking. Drinking till I have to be carried home. Then I just lie back in my bed with a big grin on my face. Can't sleep, can't stop smiling. Imagine that. Going down to the rail yard in the morning and couldn't be happy.
The crane is oiled and tested. A small but appreciative crowd gathers under its feet to watch it swing its arm, left and right, and up and down. I smile. These who are here now, at midnight, they understand.
She's too mighty, too strong, too big. They'll see. The joke is gonna be on them.
Sparks will call it. Tomorrow, the hay room. I must rest. I must be strong. He will call it.
You don't sleep. You think. You wish you could charge admission tomorrow, but this isn't your show. It's theirs.
Got a monkey on your back. Got a lift it. I'm telling you now, Jack. Better lift it. Higher and higher. Higher and higher. Higher and higher. Higher and higher. Gotta lift it off your mind.
Morning finally came. Cake turned out fine.
Couldn't help but feel it. There was a spark in the air.
Put on brand new shoes. Wanted to look my best.
Ma told us not to go, but Eli and me, we was going.
Got down to the railroad tracks. Saw I wasn't the only one gussied up.
I went to bear witness to see the glow.
Men in the only suits they owned. Women in their Sunday best. Prancing around with parasols. Like it was Easter.
Never been so proud.
All of Irwin. Seemed like all of Tennessee.
Quite a sight.
People rising out of the mud. Top of boxcars. Top of cranes. Coal tipples.
Was sitting in the cab of my steam shovel. Best seat in the house.
Picnic baskets. Food. Punch.
We was doing it up right.
Everybody was sharing with everybody else.
I kept to myself.
Laughing. Dancing.
Glow was brighter than the sun.
All the children were play acting what was gonna happen.
Eli and me were about pissing ourselves.
Saw some men drinking.
I saw Carl and them having a good old time behind the caboose.
I took the bottle out of their hands, smashed it on the railroad tracks. They looked at me like I was crazy, but I knew it was wrong. Wrong to sully the act with liquor.
Oh, he was gonna be something.
Act had to be pure, clean.
I couldn't take it no more.
My cake was long gone and you could feel it. We were ready.
Told Walter to cut it.
Wait for the signal from Johnny Tinplate. You tell Shorty to go ahead.
Trump, sup?
The killer was in front. Them elephants marched out, holding each other's tails with their trunks like a parade or a line of boxcars.
Why the hell they have to bring the other ones out?
They marched all throughout the rail yard to the crane, and this short guy, he chained the killer's foot to the track.
Now, Lou, now.
Grab Shadrach.
Then the other elephants started making this sound, like they knew once they left, the big one was gonna get it.
Get them out.
Real funny sound.
Now.
It sounded kind of human.
Lord.
Like 20, 30 people moaning full out at the same time.
Come on, come on!
Eli and me plugged our ears.
Finally got Shadrach and the rest of them out of sight.
Finally.
We took our fingers out.
Shh. It's okay, it's okay. It's okay. Ready? Showtime, sweetie.
Short guy ran up her back.
Women folks started hiding their faces. At least, pretending to.
We was afraid she was gonna pick him up with her trunk like she did that red-haired fella.
But she didn't seem spooked at all. Short guy hooked the chain around her neck, patted her back, and stood up.
That little man ran off and she was alone,
Mud in between the folds of her skin.
She looked scary.
helpless.
Confused.
Guilty.
Like a killer.
Like a queen.
The marshal looked up at the engineer and
The railroad controls time, and I made it stand still. The masses waited below with held breath to see if it was actually possible, if the railroad could actually kill their elephant dead for them. Has smiled a reassuring smile. You can depend on the railroad. I placed my hand on the hanging lever. I gripped it hard, tasting the silent seconds, rolling them around in my mouth, knowing that this part, the before part, would be the best part of all. And then I threw the lever and time started up again. Crane groaned, gears grinding, and...
Damn! And that thing don't lift right off the ground. An elephant, for Christ's sake.
It rose up steady till it was standing on its hind legs. Tiptoe, toenails scraping the railroad track. Tiptoe, like it was doing a trick.
Well, we started clapping it again. And I flashed a big old smile down at Carl and them, because they bet me there was no way in hell that elephant was ever leaving Mother Earth.
But then we started getting to wondering why it weren't going any higher.
gear sounded kind of stuck.
I got to thinking maybe she's too heavy. Maybe a 100-ton crane can lift a 100-ton steel, but not a 5-ton animal. Maybe an elephant's soul is too heavy. Maybe her soul is as heavy as the rest of her.
But that wasn't it.
It wasn't the crane. Crane could lift her. Crane could lift her fine.
It was a people problem, not a crane problem. People don't always remember too good. Even a big crowd of people, even thousands of people. People tend to not remember the little details when they got an elephant hanging in front of them. And nobody did. Nobody remembered to unhook her. Nobody remembered that her foot was still chained to the track. Her foot was still chained to the railroad track.
So they were kind of ripping her in half a bit. Her leg attached to the railroad at this weird angle while the rest of her was heading up.
Her leg broke. A bone about as big as my whole body breaking. I could feel it in my spine. My spine buckled, ached in sympathy. Rang like a tuning fork.
Eli started crying.
Should have left then, I suppose.
Eli ran off.
But I stayed. Stayed to see them unhook her, lift her up again. Stayed to see her trunk flailing about, grabbing the air like crazy, trying to grab hold of something.
Think she was nearly gone then, or would have been soon.
No.
If the chain hadn't broke.
No.
But it broke.
No.
The chain around her neck broke.
No.
It wasn't the crane. Crane could lift her. Crane could lift her fine.
Mistake number 2. It was a chain problem, not a crane problem. Chain around her neck couldn't handle all that weight. Weakest link, right?
The chain popped and she came crashing down onto the railroad track with the sound like an oak tree cracking in half.
She broke her. I think she broke her hip. Bite kind of went out of her. Couldn't seem to move, couldn't get off her side.
She was loose.
Free.
The guy who climbed her before started screaming like he was the one who fell down, and he yelled out to one and they handed him a thicker link chain, and I couldn't believe it. But he ran up her back again.
Christ.
His face was all red and twisted up, but he ran up there, hooked her up again, and ran off.
Nobody clapped this time. Didn't seem. In fact, some people started leaving. Women leading their children on. I stayed. I stuck it out this far, I figured. So.
Crane lifted her up again. Higher.
Higher. She made some noises. Some air just kind of puffed out of her trunk, and then that was it.
I let my breath out. I breathed in, lungs searching for that sanctified air, waiting to be made clean. But the air, it tasted no different. It was flat and stale and rank. They hung that thing for nothing. I still got mud on my shoes.
They kept her swinging up there for 20 minutes longer than they had to. Townies were waiting for her to let loose a bellow, rip herself free. Something that big couldn't die, could it? Something that full of life? So they kept her up there. But she was long gone. History. And I know the instant she passed. Bad luck to point down with your trunk. It's the first thing an elephant learns. Never point down with your trunk. That's what they taught her. But she didn't care about that anymore. Looks like I might need some diamonds after all.
Look. Look at that thing swing! There are people in this here country who'll tell you we become a small nation. A small nation. Little people with little dreams. Staring at the ground instead of the stars. Well, look at what we done did here today and tell me this country's dying. We hung an elephant. A goddamn elephant! We made the impossible possible. So you can just pack up your grip and get out if you don't love this country. Because this is America, goddammit. And we can do anything we dream of. Anything at all.
She dangles there, effortlessly, daunting me. I could never lift her like that. I could never lift her. I tried once, just to see. I couldn't do it. Even little Maybelle, even the baby. But there she is, our star. By that it mocks me. It mocks me. It mocks me.
I'd forgot about the rest of them. Everyone did. Once that crane set that poor beast down on the ground, her sisters came lumbering back into the yard. Quiet, reverential. Walked right through the thousands of people gathered around like if we were invisible. Marched right up and stood over Mary. They opened their mouths and their prayers didn't make a sound, but the air felt like it was moving, like it was trembling. Them elephants bent down and they caressed that Mary with their trunks like they were soothing her, calming her spirit, paying their last respects. That little man, walked over to the biggest one of them mourners, petted her, whispered something in one of those big ears, and let her out. Other elephants fell in behind, grabbing the tail in front of them, walking off in the funeral processional. I fell in too, brought up the rear. Guess be getting home now. Gather my notes. Glow was gone. I had a feeling it was gonna be crowded on Sunday.
I'm red lighting myself. I'll move on and work in a zoo. I'll get older and die. That'll be it. It's your show now, Shadrach. My spark is out.
Ma gave Elon me a good switching that night. Wasn't the worst part, though. Worst part was the dreams.
Johnson City was in 2 days. We'd be ready.
Elephants got those brains like traps. Don't forget nothing. Must be all them peanuts. People got short memories. Let go of memory just as soon as you give it to them. But not me. I eat peanuts. Stops it all from blurring together. All them colored boys let out into the yard must blur together something fierce. Because they don't talk about how they hung colored boys in Irwin. No. They just talk about how they hung an elephant. Damnedest thing. Damnedest thing. Peanut?
Why? Why did the elephant cross the road? What did the banana say to the elephant? How can you tell if an elephant is sleeping? Why did the elephant quit the circus? How do you make an elephant disappear?
Hey. Hey, it's thick mud. Hard to bury a squirrel, much less an elephant. I got a steam shovel. I can dig the hole. You hear? I can dig the hole. Hey, that's what we got machines for in the first place, right? Make the job easier. Well, get it done. What? What? I can dig a hole. I can dig a hole. Let me dig the hole. Please.
It was September, and there was a town, and there was a circus, and there was a railroad, and there was a man with red hair. There was an elephant. There was an elephant. An elephant. You pack up the tents, you load the boxcars, and you wait. You wait. After midnight, after the prying eyes of Irwin are closed, safe. Safe. Safe and asleep in their beds. Sleeping with the certainty that their boogie monster is dead. Good and dead. That they can get on with their stupid lives in their stupid town, in their stupid... You wake up the clowns. You wake up the clowns and you put the shovels back in their hands. You tell them to dig her up. You tell them to dig her up, you tell them to saw off her tusks. You tell them to saw off her tusks and you tell them to bring them to you. You need to see what you can salvage, what you can get for them. For the ivory, the tusks. An elephant is an investment.
Hi guys.
So?
I'm Sophie Septop. I'm this year's Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS representative. Broadway Cares is an organization unique to the theater community. So if you've ever been to like a Broward Center show, you might have seen similar speeches to this. But basically, Broadway Cares raises money for health care of people in the entertainment industry. So it goes directly to helping with diseases such as HIV and AIDS and many other things. Last year, Florida Thespians broke the record of over $30,000.
Yes.
So we're trying to beat that this year. So out, as you're going out to the lobby, there are going to be cast members with buckets. So feel free to donate. It's really appreciated, and it's for a great cause. Thanks, guys.
Stop her.
Hold tight.